Our community has requested a new tutorial for creating earrings on the Filta app. Without further ado, let's dive into how to achieve dynamic earrings. You can always contact us for tutorial requests by messaging us on Instagram or through our Discord channel. We will show you 2 ways on how to approach earrings. The first one is using the recommended dynamic bones component you can purchase. It's easy to use and the best solution for complex models such as this one. The second option is using the character joint component included with the Unity engine. It's free to use yet only recommended for simpler models. However, this component tends to be unreliable and might break easily. Both options, however, will require you to optimize your model for dynamic movement, even if our limitations are 100 megabytes and 1 million polygons. This model, for example, has too many vertices on the chain links, the normals are inverted, and the rest of the mesh structure of the objects is not even. You can use the remesh modifier in Blender or your program of choice, but since I am using Blender, I will get better results with the specific remesh plugin I have purchased. I have remeshed each object individually, and now I will assign materials to the different parts of your objects. In my case, I will assign materials for the metal link and for the earring objects. Delete any colliding polygons by merging them through a Boolean union operation. Just make sure to select transfer materials and delete the solo objects. This will prevent any unwanted polygons from leaking at the time of movement when it comes to using dynamic bones. Once our mesh is prepared, we recommend that you create the UVs for each element like so. Now, let's talk about the dynamic bones method, which involves rigging your model. We recommend you work with the world axis and align your model so everything is straight. A quick tip. You can try to join all the meshes together and have one single set of bones for a quick and easy automatic setup. Simply select the mesh, then the bones, and right-click to generate an automatic weights parenting. This method will rely on your mesh having no extra vertices or colliding polygons. It has to be perfect for it to work. If you are unable to use the automatic method, you can always do it manually very quickly. Simply create parenting with empty groups and assign each mesh portion with their corresponding bone like so. Finally, to take it a step further and to avoid unwanted deformations, you can create a rig for each element. Here, it's very important to name your bones and meshes when you have multiple bones. You can see that I am creating one skeleton for the big shell pieces and for each of the pearl elements, paying close attention to the placement from which they will swing from. It's best to select each skeleton and use the pose mode to test that everything is moving as you want it. To export this model, you must select the mesh and the skeleton to be exported as FBX. If you plan to use the free-to-use and built-in character joint component, all you have to do is separate your objects into a top and bottom portion and adjust the pivot location to the top of each object, like so. You can test the rotation to make sure that the movement will happen. To export this model, you only have to export the top and bottom meshes individually. For the Unity portion of this tutorial, you will import your models by dragging them into your project folder and add them to the face tracker as a child. The model with the bones will require a dynamic bones component on each mesh and set the root to their respective skeleton. You will hit play and adjust the settings to your liking or follow our numbers. Create a new preset for this component and hit the play button again to leave play mode. Now you will have to select the new preset on each of the meshes to save time, but do not forget to add their respective root skeletons. Finally, to use the character joint component, you must add a rigid body component to the top portion of your earring and check the Is Kinematic box. Then add a box collider to it as well. The bottom portion will require the character joint component, a box collider, and to drag the top portion into the connected body section, like so. You might also have to set the y-axis anchor to 0 since it creates an offset by default. Here you can see the anchor axis with orange and green colors. Hit the play button and adjust the settings if needed, which you might not have to since the physics will do all the work most of the time. Just remember again that this method is unreliable and can often break. Share this video with fellow creators and save it to watch later. You can also join our Discord channel if you want to be part of our community. Our next meeting will allow you to meet with the creator of Filta, Chorn. We will talk about the past, present, and future of the platform. It will be live on Discord. We hope this video was helpful. See you on the next one.